Is Cameron near his body?
Mr. Jonathan Jones.
They had me down at the police station the other day about some cop that got murdered.
Welcome everybody to another Nerd Thoughts review. This time it's for Exposed, starring Keanu Reeves and this Cuban Spanish girl, Ana de Armas, some shit like that. She is from Knock Knock. Which if you want to see what she's been, the only thing I've known is Knock Knock, because she's one of the girls who actually is with Keanu Reeves in that movie. But Exposed, starring Keanu Reeves, in which I'm a detective, and as a detective I need to find where my partner got killed at the crime scene, and there is a robbing Puerto Rican little gangsters in New York and by Brooklyn and all that. And then while you have kind of the story, but then you also have Ana de Armas. Her character is pretty much she somehow is connected to the story, but at the same time she is a supernatural part of the story, and it's a cop drama. Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to give away too much because this is a movie that you do have to experience yourself, even though I do not recommend it. Head jump to my verdict, I do not recommend it. But it is two movies at once, and it's interesting because the history of this movie is really directed by this guy, the first-time director. He's worked on film, possessive minor stuff, and he pretty much wanted to focus on a Spanish-speaking film, specifically taking place in New York, but it's just all Spanish, involving Puerto Rican or Cuban or Boricuas, their heritage in this movie, in which more of a crime story with women abuse, child abuse, spousal abuse, and all of that. Pretty much it's more of a family, but it has to do a lot with crime, the gangs and stuff like that. While you still had an investigation, pretty much I want to say Keanu's role was more like a cameo in a way, but his character is a lot in the story if you think about it. That's kind of the basic what the movie was going for and the history to it. However, we have this movie Exposed, in which two movies smashed into one, in which for 5 minutes is Keanu's cop thriller investigation. Then you have a police procedure. Then you have Ana, her character, which is a woman. Her husband's out of town, out of the country. He's in the military. She's seeing some weird supernatural shit going on. She's seeing aliens. She's seeing, what looks like angels, what looks like this and that. And while it goes back into Keanu's story and it goes back to her, it is like that. And then you also have a side story with this little kind of little mob guy, Puerto Rican mob guy who is half black, half Puerto Rican, and all that. It's a blender. It's a movie that is a blender, and pretty much why? Because it's edited. The edit is really the editing. If you ever want to study a movie, you ever want to see what is the case of a bad edit in a movie. Sure, you could go to a really cheap comedy in which they cut real fast into a joke. This, if you want to see a serious movie, this edit is terrible. It's really terrible because it has no pace. It's really sloppy and really not even fast paced. It's just really sloppy and really quick cuts. And it's done with a point where the cut is so randomly, and you don't know if this taking place as a story or is this just a side note, and it ends up being just a flashback. And it really just cuts to the next scene way. It really has no pace. It has some style. The one thing I really have to say is that I really want to see the original version with the director. However, if you IMDb this, the director on that is credited. It's not the real director's name. He did a David O. Russell, which with the Accident in Love movie, in which David O. Russell took his name off and whatever. But the director took off his name for this movie because he disowned it. Just the fact that the company, the Lionsgate, pretty much jumped into the fact that they thought they were sold on a police procedural movie starring Keanu Reeves, since Keanu was back on the hot rails, being a good, with John Wick and other movies that he did well, that everybody recognized him. That's what they tried doing this, and the movie is none of that. The movie is that, but it's so sloppy. The movie is so over the place, and by the end, you really don't know. Not even by the end, within 20 fucking minutes into the movie, you really don't know what is the movie about. You really don't know if this movie is it's focused on the girl, or is it focused on Keanu, it's focused on the little girl, it's focused on the gangster, it's all over the place. And it's one of the movies where they try to edit in a way where it's an ensemble cast and they are connected in one way somehow, one form or another, but it's not that. It fails at doing that, and it's a movie that is really terrible to even see. I mean, I appreciate the fact that I like how much of a disaster movie this is, because I want to see the original version, see if it's lived far. Because you would think that editing would help in acting, yeah and no, because the acting is so far off being almost not as bad as a direct to DVD movie, but apart from that, and Keanu is kind of sleepwalking to the movie. He says, "Yeah, I'm trying to find her. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy buscando. ¿Conoce este tipo?" Yeah, he speaks Spanish in this movie, and it's not a good one. But I don't want to go so off because the movie is shit. It's just shit. It's sloppy and shit, and that is my verdict. The movie is sloppy and it's shit. Whoever tells you this is a good movie, I don't know. But the movie is sloppy and it's shit. And the problem is that I appreciate it I mean, me that I love movies, that I love studying movies, I love focusing on the details and everything. It's fascinating. The story of making this movie, but not so much the movie. I would love to see the original version. You know, if there's a Blu-ray out there, fucking give it a director's cut also with it. But the movie is shit. It's sloppy and it's shit. And that's all I have to say about Exposed. I don't recommend it. If you see it, if you have to rent it for $1 for Redbox, go ahead, but it might be the most disappointing dollar you ever wasted. $1 is the most disappointing thing you could ever waste in your life. It's just $1. You probably get more joys of getting food poisoning at McDonald's for $1. Believe it or not. But this movie is worse than fucking food poisoning because you're watching it, you won't understand what the fuck it's about. Exposed, everybody. Don't see it. If you see it, for my pleasure, that is to want to study it, even though it's hard to study it, I had to watch it 2 times to really understand it, so even focus on it. Exposed is sloppiness shit. I hope you guys like my review. Hope you guys like, subscribe to all that shit, whatever. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys, if you do check out Exposed, at your own risk. I would not recommend it, but hope you guys have a great time. Good night, good day. Bye, everybody.